Imagine a vast desert, a sea of sand stretching between two mighty empires, the Byzantine and the Sassanid. Here, on the Arabian Peninsula, camel caravans trek across ancient trade routes, and nomadic tribes live under the stars. Before the dawn of Islam, Arabia was a land of scattered cultures and powerful tribes, a crossroads of empires, yet a world apart. In the bustling city of Mecca, around the year 570 CE, a child was born who would change the course of history. Muhammad, as a man, he received divine revelations, which would later be compiled into the Quran. His message was simple, yet profound. There is only one God. This powerful monotheistic faith, Islam, began to unite the often warring Arab tribes under a single banner, forging a new community and a shared purpose that would soon echo across the continents. Following the Prophet Muhammad's death, his successors, the first four caliphs, known as the Rashidun, or rightly guided, took up the mantle. What happened next was nothing short of astonishing. In just a few decades, driven by faith and unity, Islamic armies swept out of Arabia. An animated map would show this incredible expansion. A wave of green covering territories from North Africa's shores all the way to the heart of the old Persian Empire. This was not just a conquest of land, but a rapid spread of ideas, language, and culture. With this expansion came the rise of the first great Islamic dynasty, the Umayyads. They established their capital in the ancient city of Damascus, transforming it into the political and cultural hub of a new Arab empire. This was an empire of unprecedented scale, stretching from the Iberian Peninsula in the west, what we now call Spain and Portugal, all the way to the edges of Central Asia and the east. The Umayyads left a lasting legacy in their stunning architecture, like the Great Mosque of Damascus, and in the standardized coins that facilitated trade across their vast domain. They truly cemented the idea of an Arab-led global power. But as dynasties change, so do centers of power. The Umayyads were eventually overthrown by the Abbasids, who shifted the heart of the Islamic world eastward. They built a magnificent new capital, a circular city designed for greatness. Baghdad. Under the Abbasids, the Islamic world entered its golden age. Baghdad became the world's foremost center for science, medicine, and philosophy. In its legendary House of Wisdom, scholars from diverse backgrounds translated and built upon the knowledge of ancient Greece, Persia, and India. They made groundbreaking advances in algebra, astronomy, medicine, and optics. Observatories mapped the stars with unparalleled accuracy, and libraries overflowed with books, spreading knowledge like wildfire. However, no single empire can rule forever. The vast Abbasid Caliphate eventually began to fragment. From its edges, new local powers and dynasties started to emerge. The Islamic world was no longer a monolithic Arab empire, but a rich, multicultural tapestry. In Persia, a renaissance of art and literature saw the Persian language and script flourish. In North Africa, Berber dynasties carved out their own powerful states, and from the steppes of Central Asia, Turkic peoples migrated west, bringing their formidable military skills and unique culture into the Islamic fold. This era of fragmentation wasn't one of decline, but of diversification, creating a vibrant, multi-ethnic Islamic civilization. Among the most influential of these new powers were the Seljuk Turks. These formidable nomadic warriors converted to Sunni Islam and swept across Persia and the Middle East, becoming the new protectors of the Abbasid Caliph in Baghdad and the champions of Sunni orthodoxy. Their rise coincided with a turbulent period of conflict with the Christian West, the Crusades. For nearly 2 centuries, the holy city of Jerusalem and the surrounding lands became a battleground for Seljuk warriors, their famed mounted archers clashing with heavily armored Crusader knights in a prolonged struggle that shaped the relationship between the Islamic world and Christendom for centuries to come. Just as the Islamic world was grappling with internal divisions and external threats from the Crusades, a far greater storm was gathering in the east. The Mongol Empire, under Genghis Khan and his successors, unleashed a wave of conquest unlike anything the world had ever seen. In 1258, a Mongol army led by Hulagu Khan arrived at the gates of Baghdad, the jewel of the Islamic world. After a short siege, The city fell. What followed was an act of unimaginable destruction. The Mongols sacked Baghdad, burning its libraries, destroying its canals, and slaughtering hundreds of thousands of its inhabitants. The fall of Baghdad was a cataclysmic event, a fiery and bloody end to the Islamic Golden Age. But even from such utter devastation, new powers can rise. As the Mongol threat began to recede, a remarkable new dynasty emerged in Egypt. The Mamluks, originally slave soldiers, often of Turkic origin, the Mamluks seized power and established a formidable sultanate based in Cairo. They achieved what no one else could. They decisively defeated the Mongols at the Battle of Angelut in 1262, halting their advance into Africa. They also drove the last of the Crusaders out of the Middle East. Under their rule, Cairo became the new center of the Islamic world, a bastion of art, architecture, and learning, effectively reviving the institutions and culture that had been so devastated by the Mongol invasions. As the medieval period drew to a close, the political landscape of the Muslim world was transformed once again by the advent of gunpowder. This new technology gave rise to three powerful, centralized Islamic empires that would dominate the early modern era. In Anatolia, the Ottoman Empire rose from the ashes of the Byzantine world, conquering Constantinople and building an empire that spanned 3 continents. In Persia, the Safavid dynasty established a powerful state centered on Shia Islam, becoming a major rival to the Ottomans. And in India, the Mughal emperors, descendants of the Mongols, created a fabulously wealthy and culturally brilliant empire, renowned for its magnificent architecture, like the Taj Mahal. These 3 gunpowder empires wrote the next great chapter in the long and dynamic history of the Islamic world. From its origins in the Arabian desert to its golden ages and devastating conflicts, the story of the Islamic world is one of faith, innovation, and resilience. It's a history that has shaped not just one region, but the entire globe. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this journey through time, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more historical explorations. See you next time.